We are activating your unique self-discovery one show at a time. The Orchard of Wisdom Self-Discovery podcast are at your fingertips, just waiting to inspire and invite you in discovering just how awesome you really are and how to navigate through life in joy, enrichment, personal abundance, in mind, body, spirit, heart, and soul. All the people we bring you are here to serve you on your journey of life. Do enjoy our next show. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another edition, or actually, yes, it is another edition of Supporting the Supporters. I've had 3 people now under Supporting the Supporters. What is Supporting the Supporters here on selfdiscoverymedia.com? It is where we support the people who are supporting others. We love the work that they're doing, and we want to get their word out there even more. We've already had Victoria Curry, and we've had Novelette Bowen, and we've had Rob Shear up there under Supporting the Supporters. And today we have Michael Solomon. He is the wife of Victoria, and the work that he is doing in her wonderful organization of the Contagious Smile is absolutely wonderful. If you're looking at this video right now, you are looking at a beautiful little fur dog. Well, he is in the process of breeding these beautiful dogs as support dogs, dogs that are there for people who are going through all sorts of stress or from domestic violence, people who need that support from a loving animal, because we know that these beautiful animals are incredibly loving and really, really do support us. But what is Michael's original job? Well, he's a long strategic career, both in the Air Force, law enforcement, spanning over 15 years. He is perfect for helping out his vets and other survivors feel safe and protected. He offers tips on safety and how to be aware of your surroundings. Mike can also assist you in what you expect when and if you appear in court. However, he cannot provide any legal advice. Michael is very easygoing, patient, laid back, and trustworthy. He's been there to assist his wife in her journey, recovery from being a domestic violence victim to a thriving survivor who really, folks, go back and listen to her 2 shows. I know she will inspire you. When he is not working, he loves to spend time with his wife, Victoria, and their 3 kids. Michael also enjoys fishing, hunting, woodworking when he has time, as well as paying it forward in assisting special need families that he and Victoria also have a daughter with special needs, and he is the president's security advisor. They are currently building a kennel system so that they can begin breeding beautiful golden retriever support dogs. They have been doing all of this, plus everything you can see on their work site. So every single stage of it. When they do charge for some of the classes, they do pay it forward in materials. So they're looking to be supported here, folks. They have a GoFundMe. And this GoFundMe is to raise money to build these kennels, to do everything that they need to do in order to breed these beautiful, lovely, fluffy dogs that are going to be there to support people of domestic abuse and probably even veterans down the road. He also trains animals, so he can do all that basic training to help people, meet the needs that is needed there for any animal. So he's well-rounded. Like his wife, Victoria, I don't think they sleep. I think they just work consistently. And as we've talked about in her show, they need volunteers, they need support. If you really look and you listen to the shows of the amount of work that they're doing for other people, it's time that we stepped up and supported them. Hence the reason why we're doing these shows. Now, in Michael's arms right now, for those that aren't looking at the video, he has Papa Doggy with him right now. And this is the stud that is going to breed all these beautiful animals. And he looks like he's having a wonderful time in your arms there, Michael.
Yes. Thank you, Sarah, for having us on. This is Stucco, and he gets the pleasure of breeding with 5 other females. So as you can see, Sarah, his manner and disposition is very calm. He's relaxed. And he's just got a good disposition about him for the breeding process. He's well-mannered outside and inside the kennel. Now, we have one other older female who tries to play mama, and he kind of is submissive with her in that aspect. Mama always
knows best.
Right.
Yes.
So, yeah, so thank you for having us on today.
Oh, my pleasure. And I know for myself that how much a dog can save your psyche and your sanity. They are the best friend. They know when you're upset. They know when to give you love. They know when to to bring a smile to your face. It is unconditional, pure, absolutely divine love.
Yes.
And all they want is pat on the belly to make you smile, throw a stick now and again and a treat, and they're as happy as a sunboy, right?
That's right. So these are golden retrievers. Good boy. And they will bring you your socks back to you, your bedroom slippers, any toy that you throw out there. They definitely want to play. They love it. Every time my wife has come home from the doctors or hospitals after surgery, our oldest female has just been right there beside her, knowing that there's something wrong, that there's some ailment or there's something wrong about her disposition. Something has changed, and our lady, our oldest female, has just lain right there beside my wife during the recovery process. And you're right, they have a good sense of what's going on about them. So.
And it's the purest love I think you can ever find. And they do know when you need them. That little face that goes in the lap, the way their eyes look at you, or the paw. I'm going to give a quick story of my border collie that I had many years ago. I was put on an antidepressant that they soon took off the market because people were dying from it. And one of the reasons for it is because they made you hallucinate. And I was driving along a winding road and a cliff, and there was a big corner coming up, and you could actually stop there and look over the waters. It was very, very beautiful. But a lot of people had committed suicide driving off there.
Sure.
Why they never put a rail there, I don't know. But anyway, I'm as high as a kite in my open sports car. My dog barked at me, and I barked back at her. She pawed me, and I pawed her. Next thing I know, she's thrown her entire body over me. And I'm driving a stick. So I come to a stop. And she shocks me out of whatever state I'm in. Right. And I realized my tires are on the edge of the cliff.
Oh my gosh.
And how did she know that we were in trouble? How did she know? She tried the first time, the second time, the third time, just literally through her body. Otherwise, we would have been over the cliff. No intention to commit suicide, just because I thought I could fly. I mean, that's why they took it off the market. But animals are absolutely incredible in sensing things in us that sometimes we don't know that's in ourselves. Yeah. And just that smile or that cuddling up with you, that nurturing, being there for you is so supportive, isn't it?
Yes, it is. So a little background on myself. I used to be a canine officer, and I worked with mostly German Shepherds and Belgian Malinois. I did work with some labs during the academy process, but I was mainly an explosive detection canine officer. One of my dogs was drug detection, and these little guys. I'm sorry, I maybe looked a little disheveled. I just came from outside. I'm moving some dirt around the kennel area, filling in some holes and different things, and these, all 7 of these were outside helping me dig.
With their great little paws digging away.
Oh, yeah. So everywhere I dug, they wanted to dig in the same place because they thought I found something.
Right, yes. Oh, is there a bone in there?
So his nose is a little dirty right now.
No, that's okay. That's okay. You must have seen the show Hudson and Rex. Rex being the Alsatian dog who is the guy's partner, and everybody watches that show not for the actors but for the dog, because the dog has got so many expressions and so wonderful. And it is the IMAX had this wonderful show on dogs around the world who are rescue dogs, and each one of them, the role that they take, and it's quite incredible, the abilities that they have. And yes, they're sweet, they're cuddly, they're nurturing and all of that, but they're also incredibly skilled and intuitive, aren't they?
Yes. So, and also, I use mine for a very important purpose as a canine officer. So just as important, these golden retrievers are support animals for emotional, as well as physical. I just don't understand how you can get mad or stay mad while you're petting one of these lovely puppies. So so at a Contagious Smile, we help you get your forever puppy, and we also help you get them to be a registered service animal.
Mm-hmm. And of course, being a registered service animal means that an animal can go anywhere with you, including a restaurant.
Yes, that's correct.
I had a friend who has epilepsy, and so she had a dog that could tell when she was going into, in the dangers of epilepsy, and knew exactly what to do, for her to get the medication in herself before she got in there. And so they can be specifically trained for particular instances, can't they?
That's correct. And normally, Sarah, that's around a 5-year waiting period. So my wife Victoria and I have discussed this at length, and we basically want to get the puppies out there to the individual or families or children that want the puppies just for a puppy at first, because the quality of life of some of these children that we look after may not be as long as we would like.
Right.
So 5 years is just too long to wait on a special dog to come into your life. So we want these puppies out there as quickly as possible. Later on, they can receive specialized training for their condition.
But in the meantime, the bond has been made. Yes. The smiles are happening. The dog is picking up, all of the innuendos, all of the, the particulars that are going on with that child. So when it does actually come to training, because they've already bonded, I would imagine it'd be a lot easier.
Yes, you have to get us that right type of dog for the right person, and they have to bond, they have to match, and then you have to be able to train that dog, and that dog has to go through a process, and that's why it takes so long. And we just want these kids to be happy. These adults who want the emotionally support animal or physical comfort animal, or anybody who just wants a golden retriever. We just want y'all to have the puppy as quickly as possible.
Yes. I mean, there could be, as we've seen so much, especially in the last couple of years, a great deal of anxiety and stress in a family.
Yes.
There's a lot of unsureness. Of course, costs are going up like crazy. People are still feeling insecure out there for one reason or the other. If it's not the pandemic, it's economic. It's, just the emotional stress of the last couple of years. So having a dog in the family really can diffuse things and really help people. How can you, not laugh and smile when you're seeing the little dog chasing something, or even its tail, and being so happy in someone's arms, right?
Right. So I'm going to make a confession here, Sarah. I was in the Air Force, and I did many years in law enforcement, and I do suffer from PTSD. And oftentimes I would wake up and see shadows coming out of the wall, and I would go for my gun. I'd be in law enforcement and military. I'd go for my gun, and I'd go to shoot the guy coming out of the wall, so to speak. But my wife has convinced me to have the dog sleep in our bed, and I've not suffered any of those, if you will, night terrors or hallucinations, whatever you may want to call them, because I feel secure with an animal in the same room or in the bed. So I was one that said I would never have the animal sleep in the same bed, but
never say never. I got my last dog to replace my husband. The best thing I did, and she slept right next to me.
But it is a great comfort to know that as I grow older, I already suffer from tinnitus, hearing loss, and to have that comfort to know that I have an extra pair of ears, an extra eyes, an extra sense in the room with me. So I think I feel more at ease, and that's why I haven't had any of those night terrors.
Right. I did a show actually on dogs for veterans with post-traumatic stress, and we were actually doing a whole documentary, and unfortunately somebody pulled the plug on us, which is a pity. But I did get to interview a couple of guys where they said having the dogs literally gave them back their lives.
Right.
They were too scared to go out. They were too scared to do anything. And having this dog gave them courage, gave
Oh,
them
wow.
strength, gave them a
Right.
companion. And they were out there. That dog was their brick, was their support completely. And this is, yes, they're sweet and they're cuddly and they're cute, but we just don't really understand the actual impact that they have on our psyche. And it's our psyche
Yeah.
that's being damaged,
Right.
right?
Right. That's true. You got anything to say, Stucco? Anything to say?
Well, we've seen all the puppies that you've produced in the background there, Stucco. You're doing a great job there. Absolutely. So, what is the process if somebody wants to have one of these dogs? Right now, you do have a whole GoFundMe platform, which I do encourage people, please, to go and support for two reasons. One, it takes a great deal, as you said, they have to build kennels, you have to build secure areas for the dogs. There's the vet bills, there's all sorts of things that go into breeding dogs. And that's before you even get to the training, which you do have a training package. So you do need support in order to do this. So you have the GoFundMe on that. But of course, all the other work that Contagious Smile is doing and all the other programs, which under Supporting the Supporters, we have Victoria's show where we went through every single program that,
Wow.
that is being done, and that needs the support of as well, because you guys are just simply doing too much on your own. And if you, need either, physical volunteers or most certainly the financial support in order to be able to hire people to help you, because yes, you're doing it from the goodness of your heart, knowing how much the impact it is, how much of it is needed, but the support needs to be there so that you can continue to do this. So you do have a GoFundMe campaign going on right now.
Yes, ma'am, we do. And we thank you for everyone who, might want to contribute from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you.
And, it doesn't matter whether it's $5 or $50 or $500, whatever you wish to do, everything, is that support. And, it could be one coffee less for someone and it's going towards a great cause. And of course, you are trying to also raise money in order to do your nonprofit certification as well. I can remember the letters that you've got to have there, but and that takes money and time as well. So the support on that as well, which is really, really important. You also do, from what I understand, particular training of animals for people as well.
Yeah. So as a canine officer, we refreshed our dogs every day, getting them to alert on certain scents that we wanted them to alert on concerning the explosive or drugs. So off to the side, I did basic obedience lessons, which is, very simple in my field, but other people, may not comprehend what all is involved. And then once I come to your location or your house, we show you what to do. So it's basically me training you to train your dog. Okay. Now, we've had in the past places where you drop off your dog for, a couple of weeks and they, they can be trained in the obedience. But it's best if you, as the owner, are with me during the training process.
Yeah, because actually the command really needs to come from you, because that's where the bonding is.
Yes.
Right. So the tutor is teaching the teacher, so to speak. So, right. So you offer kind of both of those anyway, which is going on. And so if someone takes one of these puppies and they have a child right now, and the puppy obviously has to get to a certain age before you can kind of start, well, you can train it its basics, but kind of train it specifically for that child's needs. What are the age brackets? I mean, you can do the potty training, this training, and that training pretty well at what age? And then what's the next stage for training?
A lot of people will tell you, at certain ages, but you can start training them right out the get-go. As soon as you bring them home, start with come. Okay. Like come, whatever you name your puppy, say come. And treat training is probably the best right when they're puppies. I suggest crate training for probably a good week and a half when you bring them home. Let them get used to that crate as their home. That's where they sleep. That's where they live. They don't want to mess in it. You take them out of the crate, you go to the potty, you bring them back. Then they go back in their house for their home for a few hours, and you take them back outside. So they start learning this process over about a week and a half. And then it'll save you a lot of messes to clean up and paper towels on the floor.
Right. Yes. Yes. I must admit, coming from England, we never crated our dogs. And so when I got my my little Kokomo, my border collie, I got a crate, and she just howled so painfully for days and days on end. And it was like, I gave up. I gave up. I couldn't take it. So one has to be a little bit tough on it.
We need to train you.
Yeah, exactly. But we didn't ever crate the dogs in the car or anything. It was always just go with us wherever we went, right? So, but it's the bonding. Now, if you have a special needs child, is there something where there's other children in the house? Should it be like the dog and the special needs child need to bond on their own first before the rest of the family can get involved?
It would depend on the dog and how the dog comes to the individual. I definitely wouldn't force the puppy onto that child alone. Let him get familiar with everyone first, or she get familiar, and let him or her know the territory of the house, and you'll start seeing who the dog favors. There's going to be an alpha in the house, either mom or dad, or that child. But there's always going to be someone that's more strict, that has the deeper voice, that gives the commands, and the dog is more submissive to. So
if it is for a particular child in a support, but the dog goes to someone else, does that mean that other person becomes the trainer?
Okay, so the dog will follow the commands of the if the child or individual is audible, then they'll follow the commands of that child. But like I said again, Sarah, this takes a long time. It's a very selective process, starting with the puppies, when they're just 6 to 8 weeks old, and then you have to start training them, and if they don't make that training process throughout the years, you have to start over, and it's just a really long process.
Now, I have to ask on behalf of the mum who produces all of these babies, how hard is it for mum just to see her babies leave all the time?
Oh, that's just something they do. It doesn't seem to affect them too much, In fact, you hardly introduce the dad to the puppies, because it's only 8 weeks, and they're usually grabbed up by these families. So the dad doesn't really get to interact with, his offspring. So I feel more sorry for the dad,
Yeah. Yeah. I guess, obviously when you're breeding, they're breeding for to have a home, which is all a wonderful cause, but do you at any time kind of say, okay, you're retired from breeding and you can keep one?
Yes. So after so many years, obviously we don't just wear these dogs out,
right?
My partner and I, we don't do that. We look after their health. That's the utmost. So if they only produce 2 litters a year, okay, that's 2 litters a year. We kind of go with the more natural selection process, let him do his thing. And, the result is puppies,
yes,
between 5 and 11 puppies. So after a certain period, we'll see the health of the female and retire her. So when we retire her, we've discussed this, we'll either adopt her out or, find a forever home at some point for the female.
Right.
Or we might just keep them.
Yes.
If my wife gets too attached.
Which I would blame her, honestly. We have a cat, but I am most certainly a dog person. There's just something about a dog. A cat's very aloof, but a dog is just pure floppy, sloppy love, which is just wonderful, and they're incredible companions. I would imagine that you have quite a waiting list already for the dogs that you have.
No, not yet. I do not. And my partner, pretty much as soon as he publishes that there's a litter, they just go within a very short amount of time, and they're just all gone just very quickly.
Right. Right.
So, we try to keep the cost down to minimum, to include, vet and pet food. And you already know how much that's going up. It's astronomical.
Most certainly. And there's a, massive amount of care. I mean, you're in kind of a rural area, so you have to protect the dogs from, outer, I don't know, do coyotes go after puppies?
They do. We have coyotes.
So one has to protect them from them, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
I know somebody who breeds chocolate labs for autistic children.
Okay.
And he was saying that the protection against the coyotes was always a problem.
Yes.
So you've got all of that as well that you've got to look at. So when you're building something secure, it's how secure is it from the outside elements as well, and
Right.
weather elements and everything else. So I imagine that there's a great deal of love in doing this.
Yes, it's a lot of work and a lot of love. You have to have a passion for this, because if you don't, then going outside at 6 o'clock every morning cleaning up dog poop, it's just going to wear you out. So you have to have a passion.
Yes, and I imagine a great deal of that passion is all those little puppies just piling on top of you while you're trying to clear everything up.
So much love.
And we can never get enough love. As far as I'm concerned, we never get enough love. It's and a dog, the love that they will give you is absolutely amazing. But on the other hand, like I said with my dog, and we had another dog, and my mum had a lawyer in the house, and it was a robbed will, so to speak. So, and the lawyer was handing something to my mum to sign. Right. And the dog was fast asleep on the ground. And as he went to hand something, she went right up, hand over the mouth over the hand, right, and just staring at him because she knew,
Right, right.
Knew. And my mum said, "Not right now, dear."
Oh, awesome! That is awesome.
So the dog just kind of dropped the mouth and just stared, and the lawyer got the document and ran out of there. So yeah, they can be sweet and they can be this and that, but when they sense danger, they're there for you.
Right.
So what is the GoFundMe link that people have? I do have it here, but would you like to share it?
Yes, I have it. Let me get my phone here.
Okay, I can give it. I've got
okay,
it
go
here.
ahead. Yes,
okay.
Thank you.
So you're looking to raise $15,000. And then, of course, there'll be the other GoFundMe for your nonprofit that's going to come up there. The Cages Smile is trying to provide forever homes, so people can go to that. So it's gofundme.com/FA Contagious Smile trying to, the number 2, provide for, FUR, ever home. So you're breeding these dogs for people for a forever home. You've got these wonderful pictures of all these gorgeous puppies. You just want to reach in and grab one right now. And that is there any training in that, or will be training this is extra on top of that?
Basic obedience will be extra later. But as I said, Sarah, right about 8 weeks, when they're ready to go, they're just snatched up. So there's not a lot of time involved in training when folks want their puppy now, and especially at 8 weeks, they want to get that little fur baby in their house and, start loving on it. And, so, I always tell, y'all come back, you want some basic obedience training later, you just come on back. We're here. Right.
Right. So obviously you're serving people in your community area, so people can reach out to you to find out where you are for that. And, I know that you do a great deal of support and work along with Victoria and all the other work that she does. And I know that there's a great deal of complaint that this woman never sleeps.
Yes.
Right? Because she's always working.
I think it was like 2 o'clock, 2:30 this morning. They were up.
Right. I know. So the aim here from Self-Discovery Media and the Orchard of Wisdom is to get her the extra support that she needs so that actually she can actually have a life, like really sleep, actually have time with her husband and these puppies and her daughter and the other children, so that she can actually have some normalcy in her life, which she's taken on so much. And if you please go to contagiousmile.com and you see, or is it .org?
.com.
.com, and you can see all the work that that she is doing. And I invite you also to listen to the show. We've done 2 shows, her why show, of everything that happened to her. And believe me, it angered me a great deal, and that I have spoken a great deal about it on many other shows, because I am so tired of criminals hiding behind a uniform. And this is her case, and the reason why she's had to have so many operations. And yet, through everything that she's been through, and I've used her an example over and over again, has found the courage and the strength and the support to be there for other people of domestic abuse, and of children with special needs, and of the parents of the children of special needs. I mean, where does she stop? She doesn't. So we need to get her support. We need to get you support, because the 2 of you together are going above and beyond in the help of people, in supporting what they need in life, in order to help those people with everything that they're going through. And there's a lot that people are going through. Of course, she has the podcast as well, and she's got children interviewing children. And I just don't know. We just need to elongate the week for her. So a Contagious Smile is, www.acontagious, that is CONTAGIOUS, smile.com. The services, the workshop, the classes, everything is there. The podcast is there, the Facebook, the YouTube, everything that is on there. And of course, people can reach you, particularly how, love?
Either through a contagiousmile.com. We respond to all the emails. Let's see, what else? It would go through Facebook. You can reach us that way. So,
and your Facebook handle is?
My wife does all this. Can you tell?
Is it under your name?
Yes, it's a Contagious Smile.
Okay,
but we're in there.
Right. So, I mean, you're a duo, you do everything together. So find one, you'll find all. And if people are particularly interested in the dogs and putting their name down for a dog down the road, or wanting to know more information, obviously they can go through a Contagious Smile, just fill in the contact form and express it. And of course, and if they want to support, with the Forever, support the GoFundMe. As I said, folks, it's gofundme.com, and put Contagious Smile, trying to, the number 2, provide fur, FUR, ever home. So we want to get these dogs in the right hands for the people that are, either children of special needs, or people with post-traumatic stress, people of domestic abuse that constantly live in a state of alert. And of mistrust and of fear, where that dog can calm it down, but also be, as you said, those extra ears. And, they know when they sense trouble. Right. So they're also kind of that built-in guard dog as well. But just that very best friend who understands, who doesn't need you to explain, who's just there for you.
Yes. And I want to say thank y'all in advance for any and all support that you provide us and the puppies. So thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. And I'm very happy to support the work that you guys are doing. As I said, Victoria's story most certainly is one that has blown me away. It really has. I mean, she's such an incredible woman to have this smile on her face after what she's been through. And folks, like, how many operations has she had now?
Well over 100.
Right. She has metal in her face and her hands and her legs. I mean, just what her ex-husband did to her is criminal, most certainly criminal. And as I said, he was protected by the military, so she never got her justice. He is still out there. And yet she, raised this child, and you were her forever love initially. And then, just through something happening, you broke up, and he was a rebound, which was the biggest mistake. And then you came back into her life. And despite what she was going through, or the state that she was in, that love was too strong, and it brought you back together.
Right, Sarah. As I've told my wife several times, everything happens for a reason, and we may not know it at the time. And if you're listening to this podcast, it's for a reason.
Yeah.
Hint, hint.
Yes, exactly.
You might be in need of a puppy.
You might be in need of a puppy. You may want to support other people who are in need of a puppy. You may want to support the Contagious Smile on all of the massive amount of programs they have there. I mean, Michael is working a full-time job as well as doing this. His ultimate aim is just be able to breed and train the dogs full-time and be there to support his wife and all the programs that she does. That is what he would like to do, folks. They've already taken on 160% work, and let's kind of bring that down so they can actually have a life as well. And they're there for everyone else. It's time for us to step up and be there for them, folks. So please, at contagiousmile.com, GoFundMe, keep going back to that then, GoFundMe.com, Contagious Smile, trying to, number 2, provide forever home. You'll also find the GoFundMe on their site as well, a Contagious Smile. And if you are interested in putting your name down for a dog or wanting to know more, reach out to them. These dogs go very quickly. And when there is a huge, big demand for dogs out there, and getting them in the hands of people as their puppies and training them as they go instead of waiting them to be fully trained before you get them is something that needs to happen right now. Let the child or the person who's going through post-traumatic stress or anxiety or fear have that companion with them right now. It will help them in their day-to-day. It will help them in the healing. It will give them back a sense of control in life, but at the same time, ultimately, everything that cures everything is love, and a puppy knows how to love.
Thank you, Sarah. That was very good.
Thank you, Michael, for coming in and sharing today. I know it's not your forte, but thank you for doing it. Thank you for the support you give Victoria, for the organization, and for stepping up with the dogs and, fitting this into your very lexical schedule. And let us support, folks. There are people out there making a difference in the lives of others. It's time for us to make a difference in their lives so they can continue with the support for others. Thank you, Michael.
Thank y'all.
Until next time, folks, remember, you are also part of the solution to the problem, which means support others who are doing the work. Until next time, bye for now. We hope that you enjoyed the show. Find all of our shows on selfdiscoverymedia.com under podcasts or selfdiscoverymedia/shows. And for all our current shows, go to What's New. We are supported by you, the audience. You'll see a nice big shiny blue button for one-time donations, or follow us on Patreon and you will be able to support us there. We enjoy bringing you such wisdom, and the next show will be up in just a moment.